Hello everyone, Brad here with StartRestoringHeadlights.com, and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. So as you can see from the title, today I want to talk to you guys about ways you can market your headlight restoration business. When I first started, I really struggled. I couldn't really find anybody online that was doing the same thing, solely headlight restoration, and let alone somebody who was actually documenting it to kind of mentor me or kind of give me a guide. So I want to make this video to kind of get back to you guys and explain to you best ways to market your headlight restoration. So I wrote down everything. These aren't in particular order of importance, but I will stress to you guys which ones are the most important. And I will go over some things that I wish I had done when I first started and some things to avoid. That way you can save some money, because I will admit I did lose or waste a lot of money whenever I first started. Pretty much just shooting darts at a dartboard and waiting for one of them to stick or hoping one of them will stick. So let's get into it. So the first one is going to be your Google business profile. This one is huge. Should be the first thing you start whenever you're starting your headlight restoration business. And even if you are planning on starting your restoration business like months down the road, start your profile now, and I'll explain why. So we've been in business for a little over 3 years now. I think it's roughly about 3 years and 9 months. And we are actually close to our 4-year mark, and Google actually puts underneath our business, you have like our business name, and then underneath that it says in business 3+ years, which is absolutely huge because it tells our customer right off the bat we've been around for a long time. That's actually the second question I get after a customer asks me about the warranty, is actually how long we've been in business. I understand that you have to start somewhere, but sometimes customers can get a little skeptical when they say, well, what's your warranty? And I say 3 years, and they say, well, how long have you been in business? And if you were to say like 2 months, they're like, yeah, I'll call back later. And then they never call back, which I've had that happen before a long time ago. So if you are getting into the business, thinking about getting into the business, in the business now, start your profile as soon as you possibly can. It's really important to make sure that everything is filled in on your profile as well. Make sure you have your content, like your before and after pictures, videos are really good, your hours. Do not be lazy with it. Make sure that everything is filled out, because a lot of people who have sent me emails, they'll ask me about like marketing and things like that. And sometimes, and I like to use the term standing too close to the elephant, sometimes they forget that they're a consumer themselves. So, and I'll use this as an example. Let's say you're going to a new restaurant. What's typically the first thing you do? The first thing I do is Google search that restaurant. And I'll look at their reviews, I'll look at their pictures, their menus, see what's going on, see if people are complaining a lot and what they're complaining about. So that's one way that you can make sure that you have everything in line. Just think of yourself as a consumer. Like, what do I like to see in a professional business? Like, I want to see their hours. I want to make it super easy for them to contact me or me to contact them or whatever. So make sure that your profile is filled out, make sure everything is legit, and make sure that like you have a good phone number. And so I actually want to tell you a story. When I first started, I think maybe for the first, I want to say it was like maybe the first 3 months, I had the wrong phone number on my profile. And it wasn't until a customer actually sent me an email and said, hey, are you guys still in business? And I'm like, yeah, of course we're still in business. And I was like, yes, how can I help you? What makes you say we're out of business? And he's like, well, I tried calling the phone number and somebody was really mad. They said they had the wrong phone number. So some of my potential customers were calling the wrong phone number. And I feel sorry for the person that was on the other end of that, because they might have gotten a lot of calls. I'm not sure. I'll never know, unfortunately. But make sure you take your time with that too, because you can do some typos here and there, and it could potentially cost you money. So make sure your Google business profile is up, make sure everything is filled out, and start it yesterday. Just do it, get it up and running. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is your website. Now, a lot of people who have asked me advice, and some people I just do some random searches on, they only have a single page website, and this is a huge no-no. Using the free websites like GoDaddy, where it's just a single page, or the Wix websites, or even the free Google website, that is a huge no-no. Do not do that. And part of the reason is I want you guys to see this business as something professional, as a high-end, very large business. If you look at, I mean, think locally, like any big successful business in your area, they have a legit website, they have their profile filled out, everything looks professional. When I first started, I treated it kind of as a hobby or like a side income. I didn't really take it seriously. So I would like show up to the customer looking all raggedy. I wasn't clean cut or anything. Like I was texting LOLs and ha ha ha's and all this stuff. So try to be as professional as you possibly can, because it's very easy to kind of treat it as just a side income or something. But if you really want to scale it, turning into a career or something, you have to treat it as such. You have to have your profile in line, have your website, your phone numbers, everything legit. Definitely try to change your mindset on how you look at your business, because a lot of websites, some people just have single page websites, and I mean, that's okay, but it's not good for your local SEO. Your local SEO is your local search engine optimization, and I'll go into detail on that. My website, for example, it has my homepage, my gallery, my contact page. It has a little bit of information on why the headlights haze up, and some of the information on the different types of issues they can have with their headlights. And my most important page is my service area pages, and I'll go into really good detail on that. So let's say somebody in the northern part of the county types in headlight restoration near me, and someone in the southern part of my county types in headlight restoration near me. I have a page that is specifically for the cities in the top of the county and the cities in the bottom of the county. So when Google says, okay, this person in this southern part of the county is typing in headlight restoration near me, if I don't have my pages up for those specific locations, I'm not going to come up for them, or I'm less likely to come up for them. So Google takes your search and says, okay, this business right here offers headlight restoration in blah 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 in this city, and I'm going to come up for them. So I have all of my local SEO optimized, or my local search engine optimized completely. So no matter where you're searching in the county, I have a specific page for that, and it is going to show up organically for that specific customer. So this is why it's so important to have a legit website. Don't just do a single page website. And I would normally say, yeah, go to my website and use that as inspiration, because we have really good results with our website. However, actually just yesterday, I found a website that pretty much copied my website like to the T. It has the same format, the same structure, and in some cases they even have like, it's like they copied and pasted everything from my website. Like everything that I said on there, they changed up a few words, but everything is pretty much verbatim. So it's okay to use websites as inspiration, but don't copy everything verbatim. Our stuff is copyrighted, and a lot of other websites, obviously their stuff may be copyrighted, and you could get a cease and desist letter. I'm not going to penalize this person or anything. For all I know, they might be watching. I would imagine they might be, because they found my website. If you are, good on you. I hope you're succeeding really well, but don't copy everything verbatim from another website, because you could get in trouble for that. But if you are redoing your website after hearing this advice, type in like a website that you know is successful, or a business that in your area that you know is successful, or something, or just doesn't even have to be in your area, just a very successful business that you know of, and just see how their website looks. Or go to Google and type in futuristic website, or if you have a theme or something, type in your theme and then the website, and kind of draw some inspiration for that. One thing I will say is try to keep it as simple as possible when it comes to people looking on your website, meaning don't flood it with a bunch of different information. Just keep it short and sweet, because your objective ultimately is to have them call you or contact you to schedule. So on my website, I have a bunch of call to actions. So what that means is a call to action is basically that it's trying to get the viewer to make an action. So I have like call now button, I have text now button, I have a schedule now button, or a form to fill out, and I have it all over the website, so that anywhere they're at, if they scroll a little bit, they're going to see one of those buttons. Because I've said in the past, you have to make everything as easy and seamless as possible for these customers to schedule with you. So get your Google business profile up, get your website up, and link the website to the profile so that they can kind of work with each other on there. Next one is going to be yard signs. And yard signs, I absolutely love yard signs because they can get you results almost immediately. Let's say you're out putting up a yard sign in broad daylight and someone's passing by and they see it, that's a result right there. So I want to go into detail on this because I did waste a lot of money on yard signs, and more so on the design aspect of it. So on my first batch of yard signs, and keep in mind yard signs are pretty expensive for some of the more sturdy, well-built ones. So when I first started with my yard signs, I made the design and I added everything on there. I had a background picture, I had before and after pictures, and I had a bunch of images and everything on it, and I had all my information on there, and I didn't get a single call from those yard signs. No results. So I started tweaking it. I'm like, all right, I won't give up 100% on yard signs because I know they'll work. I just got to find the right thing that works for me. Second batch, I kind of diluted it a little bit. I didn't put as much content on there, but I did still have a good amount of content. Same thing, I didn't get very good results. However, these last batch of, or the newer batch of yard signs, those designs, we've had the same design for quite some time now after that new one. It just has the Headlight Restoration, the business name at the very top. It has huge, in bold letters, Headlight Restoration, my price, my warranty, and my phone number. That's it. The sign itself is yellow and the font is bold black. So it's super, super easy because you have to be under the assumption that when people are driving, they're not going to always be at a stop. If you have it on a four-way intersection, you want to be under the assumption that they're just going to take a quick glance. So you want to make sure that you at least have your business name on there, because if they're driving by and they look and they see your business, what are they going to do? They're going to go to Google and they're going to type in your business. And if you have your site optimized, if they're in the northern part or the southern part, guess who's going to come up for it? You are. So that's why it's important to make sure that you have your business name on there, because if they're driving by and they just see the name, because obviously if they're not stopped, they won't be able to get the phone number, or they may not be able to take a picture. So make it short and sweet. It's a classic term of less is more. I have touched base on where to put kind of your yard signs. It's important to check with your county because sometimes they could be completely illegal and you can't use them at all. But it's important to put them out. I try to put them out at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because, one, I don't want to get ran over, and two, it's really, really easy to just pull over on the middle of the highway, throw it out, and then leave. So there's no traffic, so you're good to go. And you want to try to put them in spots that are low. Make sure the grass is really low if you are putting it where the grass is. Try to put it in mulchy areas, because if it is on grass, obviously people are going to come mow it at some point, so they're just going to throw out your sign. You can put it in like a gravel area. And always remember this, because this is something that I learned the hard way. You want to put your yard sign in an area where there's less traffic, but it's going to stay out a lot longer, rather than a high traffic area. It's only going to last for a day, because the city will pick them up. So try to avoid super, super busy areas, because the county is going to drive by and they're going to see it and they're just going to throw it out. So don't put it in like the smack dab median of the road. Put them somewhere like a back road or something where it's like not too noticeable, but it's going to be there for a long time. So that's probably the best advice I can give you, because again, yard signs are expensive, and the longer it's out, the more money it's going to make you. So if your yard sign is only out for a day because somebody snagged it, you just lost a pretty good amount of money. It's, people will constantly driving by. You might pick up some business, but as I said, you want it in a low traffic area for a very, very long time. So next one is going to be Facebook posts. And these are actually something you can do directly after watching this video. It is free. What you do is you go to the search bar for Facebook and then type in a city in your county and the state. So you're going to see a bunch of different groups in these different cities. Now these groups are like just neighbors, sometimes they might post about yard sales or the local gossip or something, but join all of these Facebook groups and read the rules, see if you're allowed to advertise your business, and if so, see how often you're allowed to advertise it, because you don't want to get banned. and then put yourself on a schedule. So we'll go in, we'll post like once a week in these different Facebook groups, all the Facebook groups in the county. And it's such an easy way for you to advertise, because one, it's giving these people like the impression that you're a personal, like small local business, which is good. They can see your profile and everything. If you are doing this, make sure your profile is clean. Don't have like a cover photo for your Facebook that has a bunch of cuss words or something like that. If you are posting on Facebook, as I said, look at it as a professional business. If I go to your profile and I see a bunch of cuss words and I see smoking and drinking all the time, binge drinking and all that, I'm not going to be as prone to hiring you to work on my car. So definitely take that into consideration, because it is something that you can forget. I see detailers posting in there all the time, and I'll see their profile and it's just full of a bunch of stuff that you would not want to hire this kind of person to do any work on your vehicle. So make sure your profile is clean before you post on these Facebook groups. So next one is going to be working with automotive car care locations. So I spoke about postcards not that long ago and how important they are. They're probably maybe the third way that we advertise the most as far as how much traffic or revenue comes for that avenue. Using your postcards, I've said it in the past, if you have a day off or if you're going to lunch or something and you're passing by any kind of facility that offers automotive car care, drop off your card there, your postcards. Because odds are somebody's bound to ask for it at some point, Headlight Restoration, and you want to be the first one there. When you do go to drop off these cards, don't just walk in, drop the card off and leave. Sit there and introduce yourself to the advisor. Say, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. This is what I do, because I've said it in the past, every single person is a potential customer. So that advisor might need Headlight Restoration. And I've done that before. I've dropped off postcards and I've done an advisor's headlights before right on the spot. So it's definitely something that you can even generate income right then and there. And if that doesn't happen, then that's fine. As long as they have your information, as long as they know that you exist as a service, next time someone asks them, hey, do you guys do headlight restoration here? They'll say no, but I know a guy or I know a person, and there you go. You just generated some income. And this could be a seed that you planted like months in the past. It might just come back on you. So make sure that you do your postcards, guys, and make sure that same thing with your yard signs. Try to keep them short and sweet. On our postcard, we have one side that has all the information as far as like, the warranty, the contact number, the price, and then on the back, it has all the before and afters. So trying to make it like as easy as possible to digest for the viewer. So definitely get out there and put your postcards out. If you have them sitting in the garage or have them sitting in your bedroom or whatever, they're not making you any money. Make sure you go out there and put them out every single chance that you get. So next one is going to be networking. And this one's pretty important because you're working with other local businesses. So we have vendor deals with a few different mechanic shops. What we'll do is we'll go there. If they need a headlight restoration, they'll call me and say, hey, I have a vehicle here that needs headlights restored. I'll go there, restore the headlights. They pay me, and then I leave. And they charge their customer. That is becoming a sublet for these types of shops. And it's great because it's mutually beneficial for all three parties. You're making money, you're restoring the lights, the shop is making money, and the customer, you're restoring their visibility and making them safer to drive at night, and everybody's happy. So it's definitely good for you to go in and try to network with some of these mom and pop shops, whether they be tint shops or tire shops. I have yet to get in with a dealership. If any of you guys are in the business and you happen to get in with a dealership, let me know what you did, because it is one tough cookie to crack. I personally have been a service advisor, and I kind of understand the inner workings. A dealership is typically only going to hire you if or have you become a sublet if they're going to make a pretty good chunk of money. So if you do happen to get in there, it's under my impression that you're probably going to take a small hit or not make too much on it, but it's still business. So if you do happen to get in, let me know what you did. So yeah, go ahead and try to market or try to advertise try to network with a lot of these mom and pop shops. The next one is going to be actually networking with mobile businesses such as dent repair, rim repair, mobile detailers. I have one detailer that we go hand in hand with. He knows that he's not like spot on with his headlight restoration, so he just sends all the headlight restoration customers to me. And then for me, it's very easy to sell a detail because a lot of customers already ask me, hey, do you also do detailing? And I'll say no, and I'll just refer them to him. So I also have his business cards. Sometimes I'll just hand them to him, say, hey, once the vehicle is dry and or the headlights are dry and everything, you can give them a call and get your car detailed. So me and him work really, really well together. We bring each other a lot of business. And if you can find somebody like that, more business to you. So definitely keep an eye out for local shops and local local detailers to work with. So because for him to do a headlight restoration, obviously doing that older method, it's more time consuming, and being down here in Florida, it is really, really hot. You don't want to be out there all day. So he'll just send it straight to me. So one less thing he's got to worry about. So the last one I'm going to talk to you guys about is going to be the number one way that we get customers. And this is something that I want to shed some light on, because when I first started with this, I lost a lot of money because I was doing it wrong. And once I learned the ins and outs of it, now it's like our number one way we market our business. So the best thing we do is Facebook ads. Now, as I've explained, headlight restoration is a very visible ad or marketing kind of business. Showing your before and afters is a really good way to entice the customer to contact you. So we run Facebook ads. We have a pretty high budget, and when I tell you the budget, I don't really want to scare you guys, because a lot of times whenever I will say, hey, you spend this much money in advertising, the first thing you'll probably think is, oh man, that's a lot of money, I don't have that. But people don't think about the return on that amount of money you spend. We can spend anywhere between $500 to $1,000 a month on Facebook ads, but it brings in so much business that's like not even a thing anymore. Like, I used to be like really, really skeptical about it. I used to be like, man, that's a lot of money to be spending, but I didn't know how much money it would actually bring me in, how much business it would bring me in. And it'll get to a point where you can kind of mess with the ad budget, because as you grow as a business, as you've been around long enough, if you're doing enough customers, the business will come to you organically. So eventually your budget will, lessen and lessen. It really depends on how much you want to spend, to be completely honest with you. If you really want to hit the ground running, you can put a lot of money into it. But when I first started, I started out with the budget, I think, of maybe like $100 a month, because I was really, really scared. And one piece of advice I can give you that I really, really, really wish I had done when I first started was taking money from every headlight restoration and putting it in a safe, a complete different account under your mattress, somewhere you're going to completely forget about it. And then once you accumulate a good amount of money, savings from that little nest egg, dump it into your marketing. That's really what I wish I had done, because I looking back now, I feel like I could have really hit the ground running had I hired a service to run my ads and manage my ads and really bump up the business. But obviously when I first started, I didn't have a bunch of money. I didn't have $1,000 a month to dump into ads. But as you grow, obviously you're going to get to that. But if you are doing headlights and you're doing like maybe 3 or 4 a month, 30 a month, or whatever it might be, if you take money from every single restoration and put it under your mattress, and then 3 months down the road or something, you have a really good amount, you can hire a service and run the ads. And at that point, it's like the price is right. You're climbing, and then once you hit that mark where you can really dump money into ads, after that, like, you can go full time. That's like the light at the end of the tunnel, in my opinion. But ultimately, the end goal for marketing, in my opinion, in my experience, it might be different for you. My experience was Facebook ads. That's what really put our business on the market. Granted, we still get, and I don't want you to think that you have to be running Facebook ads to get business. Because again, I worked at it. I was still busy. I was still doing restorations until I started doing Facebook ads with all the other methods. The methods I just gave you, there's a lot of free ones, but in my opinion, the way it goes is the yard signs. It goes, the yard signs are good. The postcards are better, but the Facebook ads are best. But so again, you just got to kind of mess with your budget, kind of see what works best for you, because every single business, it's going to be different. The ads are going to be different. The way you have them designed are going to be different. This is why I would recommend, when the time is right, hire a service. They can do the website, they can do the ads, or whatever it might be, but ultimately that's what's going to bring you your business, in my opinion. And this is, again, based on experience. I can't speak for everybody else if it's going to have the same result, but I can say that for my business, being in a niche that doesn't really exist, or we're kind of still breaking through the barrier, it's worked wonders, like really skyrocketed the business. So we're at the point now where I'm currently looking for another fleet car. I'm looking to get it wrapped. I want to hire some employees. Like I'm like really trying to skyrocket here. So and the good thing about it is that if you are disciplined with your money, like I wish I had been when I first started, you can create a budget and just funnel the money right back into the business. So that's it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment, ask them, because if you are thinking it, odds are somebody else is thinking it, and I will be more than happy to help. That is literally what this channel is designed for, to help people start their own headlight restoration business. And thank you so much. I will see you in the next one.